Yeah, and last thing before I go, Neo Shaggy is asking me to do something that's very uh, that everyone should do. You know, if you are at home, at your grandma's house, if you're at your girlfriend's house with having dinner with their families, you go, you stand up, and you say, "Gah!" and then you leave. That's the best exercise that you can ever do, like mental health and stuff. So with that, thank you guys. I'm out.
Gah! And with that, Cristiano is out of here as we get into our grand finals, grandes finales here. I may be joined by someone else. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how things go here as we dive into game number 1 of our grand finals. Here we go. It is going to be a ZvZ, a beautiful ZvZ at that, as I quickly set a couple things up here. And here we go. Spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Hardwire LE, we have the Peruvian Zerg player representing Los Patitos, the CranKy Ducklings. It is Ryu. And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Hardwire LE, we have the Brazilian Zerg player representing Amantes de StarCraft. It is TheZergLord. And a bit of a shout out to the people in the chat. TheZergLord, he was just telling me that he wanted to give some people some shouts out. You know, his team, Amantes de StarCraft. Apparently, Legolas as well. We actually casted Legolas a couple of weeks ago. I didn't realize. I think maybe he's like the player manager or something. I don't know. But apparently people lied to him, telling him that he had won the raffle. Nah, mate, it was all about Mako. So again, congratulations to Mako. My apologies to players like Neo Shaggy who missed out. There he is. I see Legolas there in the chat. Amantes coming out here, supporting him hard. And we'll see how this goes, because this is a matchup that is juicy. It's beautiful. It's what we all wanted to see. It's a matchup that we don't get often enough, I feel. It's a bit of a ZvZ, the best that we have to offer here, and yeah, we'll see how this goes. The ZergLord is more known as being the aggressor typically in this matchup, you know, with Ling Bane, with Roach timings, Ryu more macro oriented, but again, ZvZ, anything can happen, mate. Anything can happen. As so far we have some pretty standard openers. We did have, of course, our hatch gas pool from both sides. We should be seeing a third base, and we should be seeing a Baneling nest. If we don't see any of those things, then that is when things are just going a little bit too wild. As a third is on the way. There we go for both of our players. Meanwhile, shout out to Oreo. Buenas noches. Buenas noches. Buenos dias. Good morning, Oreo, in the chat. He's working up. He's getting up. He's getting ready to play some StarCraft, maybe. I don't know. Maybe I can get Oreo to cast. Oh my god. You know what? I'm a ping him. Let's go. Papi. Cast? We'll see. We'll see if he responds for game number 2. So far, game number 1, nothing crazy has been going on. We have our third base. We have our Baneling nest from both players. No one has decided to make a flood of lings to deny the third base. So again, everything is looking pretty standard. No one is cutting any corners. They're both journeying up, and yeah, nothing too crazy so far. Unfortunately. Exclamation mark Funada Oreo. He just messaged me. Unfortunately, he's at the university studying. And when I say at the university studying, really he's there watching StarCraft. So shaking my head. Oh god. Meanwhile, we have a couple of hidden links here. I love it. Are we gonna see some cheeky Banelings in the main base? Oh, they get caught out! Ryu being a little bit too cheeky here. He does get caught out the ZergLord, mate. You think you can do that to the ZergLord? Nah, mate. He is ready for you. He's ready for what you've got to come at him. As both players have range on the way, we should be seeing roaches at some point as well, a roach warren even. There it is. It is thrown down for the ZergLord. A little bit more delayed here for Ryu, but it is thrown down in the end. And yeah, things are, again, looking pretty standard. A very passive game here from both players. A little bit uncharacteristically passive, I would say. But, I mean, you know, it's a best of 5. We're going to have plenty of matches, and hopefully, ideally, not all matches end up like this. There's plenty of opportunities for early pools, early gases, plus like Evo chambers with +1, early layers for Spire play. Like, there's a lot available here in this matchup. That's why I love it. It's beautiful, man. It's beautiful. And we'll see if we get there. As again, just drones. We have our layers on the way. Once the layer finishes up, we should be seeing some roach speed. It's kind of like a... God, what's the word for it? A bit of an agreement between the two of them. And oh, finally we see someone divert a little bit. And we have Burrow on the way for Ryu. Is he going to commit even harder and go for Tunneling Claws? Meanwhile, the ZergLord is going in the completely different direction and going for a Spire instead. So we're going to be seeing some mutas. Meanwhile, we see a more committed roach army here for Ryu. So there will be a window here where maybe Ryu can exploit this and try and hit a timing when the ZergLord is saving his gas for mutas. And again, in that transition, he can be caught out and things can go from bad to worse. That's the hard thing about switching tech here when you're roach versus roach, is that if you go into a Hydroden or a Spire, like when that happens, those are the moments when you are the weakest. So we'll see how this goes. Regardless, because of Tunneling Claws, Ryu will be looking to be the aggressor. But looking at his vision, he just hasn't seen the Spire. He doesn't know. He hasn't seen it whatsoever. For all he knows, it is still just pure Roach Ravager coming out from his opponents. So things are looking a little bit worrisome here for Ryu. He gets in with his Overseer, but he's looking to go into the main base. He doesn't check the third. He doesn't see. He doesn't know. Meanwhile, more roaches are in production for both players here. The ZergLord, of course, ideally wants to save resources because the Spire finishes up. We should be seeing mutas as he's a little bit supply blocked. We have 5 Overlords on the way, but there we go. There are the mutas already in production, and Ryu has to pull the trigger now or never. He's going. Is this too late though? The mutas, they're gonna come out. Like, the ZergLord has survived long enough. The upgrades are honestly pretty equal. We have a decent roach army to defend as well. This is honestly a little bit terrifying. The ZergLord has done a very good job at keeping the Spire hidden for as long as possible. Mutas have finally revealed themselves. It's go time now for Ryu. But he's just gonna run into a wall of roaches. The concave was in favor of the ZergLord. He defends beautifully. At the same time, we do have that roach counterattack in the natural base, and he gets a queen, but no drones. Not yet. The mutas are still going ham when it comes to all of these overlords. Roaches are burrowing all over the place. We need more damage. Finally, a couple of drones are getting picked off, but only 3 so far, and the rest of the roaches are at home to defend. Meanwhile, it looks like the response is going to be a Hydroden here for Ryu. But the Hydroden isn't even done yet. As all the roaches are being cleaned up, we are lacking spores in the bases, so we don't have detection everywhere that we need it. So there is potential here for Ryu to deal damage, but like, look at the gap in supply. Like, he has plummeted hard. Oh god. To be fair, he's buying a lot of time. Like, the ZergLord has such a massive army advantage right now. He has to utilize it. And these roaches keep pulling him back. Are they going to do it again? We need to go. Ryu, unburrow. He does unburrow. Does he react? No, he does not. The reinforcements are going to be enough to defend the ZergLord. He is committed. He's coming across the map. What is it to defend? We have a couple of roaches. Only a couple, though. Ryu, he's down 20 supply. The 4th base gets picked up immediately, and we do see the ZergLord just powering on through here. There are not enough roaches for Ryu left to defend. He's trying to go into a lurker den, but it's not going to be enough. Ryu has so much gas that he can't spend it. As the ZergLord, he's going to be able to bust through and take a quick and easy game 1. And the Mutas did so much for him. They gave him so much map control as well. Ryu was forced to respond, and the Tunneling Claw Roaches didn't deal anywhere near as much damage as they needed to. As drones are getting picked off one after the other, G gets called. And the ZergLord takes game 1. Damn. GG. Pretty decisive game 1 at that. And again, it's one of those things where going for something like Mutas and getting away with it is terrifying because they kill all the overlords. They again deal with all the map vision, the map presence that you have, and they force you to invest tech into things like hydras, things like lurkers, some form of anti-air that Ryu just wasn't ready for. And with that, we are diving in to game number 2. Here we go. To be fair, mate, this is a best of 5, and I believe in our boy here. I believe that we can take this series, or at least make a series out of it. It's not going to be a 3-year. I better not be. It better not be a 3-year, mate. Oh god. As we have spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of 2000 atmospheres LE. The Peruvian Zerg player, he is red, representing the CranKy Ducklings, currently down in this series, but not out. It is Ryu. Spawning in the top right-hand corner of 2000 atmospheres, we have the Brazilian Zerg player representing Amantes, the StarCraft, up in this series with a very nicely positioned Spire at the third base. It is the ZergLord. Again, the positioning was key. Ryu, in all the matchups, he is known for his scouting, and he was adamant when it came to scouting the main base and even scouting the natural, but he never checked behind the third base, and unfortunately, that's where he needed to be. That is where the tech was hidden, and Ryu had no idea. Meanwhile, I just remembered. I apologize because it was in the middle of a cast. I want to give a bit of a shout out to Darth Mono. Interesting name, but thank you so much, Darth Mono, for the sub 3 months in a row. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. Again, all the money that we make here goes towards our players, goes towards our tournaments. It's thanks to people like you that we are able to afford and support Ryu the way that we do. As a bit of a shout out, Ryu, he did recently get top 4 in DreamHack Latino America. That's how amazing he was in the most recent season of DreamHack. Also, massive shout out to Blacker Dudes in the chat for the 100 bits. Gracias, Blacker Dudes. Gracias. I appreciate it. Alright. Here we go. Actually, I see a couple more of the Amantes boys in the chat. Rangel there as well. Again, and cheering for their boy, the ZergLord. The ZergLord, one of the best players in all of Brazil. Let's see if he can do it. Let's see if he can pull it off. As so far, pretty standard openers. Hatch gas pull from both players, but this is what we expect on 2000 atmospheres. It's by the time we get to maps like Berlinengrad, or Curious Minds, or Glittering Ashes, where I expect to see something different. I say Glittering Ashes because even though it's the largest map, that's why you expect a 12 pool the least once we get there. Meanwhile, Ryu going for his third, so is the ZergLord. Again, everything's pretty standard. Now we're just keeping an eye out for our Baneling nests, which we should be seeing from both players as well, and we'll see where we go from there. As we have seen plenty of times, especially on this map, Ryu go for a bit of a link flood behind this to deny the third base, as he is the aggressor from time to time. There we go, Bailey Nest is on the way from both of our players. We'll see if we see a bit of a more Ling commitment from either one to deny their thirds, or if we just see, again, a gentleman's agreement to just drone up and get our bases up. That is the question, as there we go. This is what I was waiting for, but not from this player. The ZergLord, he is the one to turn on the aggression. We have 10 Lings on the way. Baneless is about to finish up. The ZergLord, he is looking to go and try and deny the third base of Ryu. Meanwhile, Ryu has just been droning up. He's just been chilling. He's waiting for his Baneless to finish up so he can make a couple of defensive Banelings at home. Here we go. Oh, the ZergLord actually stopped. He I guess they were just defensive Lings. He just made a wave to just chill at home. Okay, interesting. I guess just kind of preparing for the worst, I guess. Both players just chilling. They're just chilean, droning up as best they can. The ZergLord cutting drones a little bit earlier, but there we go. He does resume. We are good. And both players are going to be getting into roaches. You see a couple of Lings here across the map for Ryu. Can he get much done? I doubt it. We do have our Banelings here for the ZergLord. Ryu's just testing the waters a little bit to see what he can do. But again, the ZergLord, he's just too good. Expect him to lose any drones? Nah, man. Not at all. Meanwhile, we haven't been mentioning, we need to mention this more often. Exclamation mark Matcherino in the chat if you want to have a look at the Matcherino page. You can support this tournament by clicking the claim code button. Oh my, oh god, the ZergLord, Jesus Christ. Calm down, buddy, calm down. Can he bait one? No, he cannot. But yes, there is a Matcherino page for this tournament. If you want to help support this tournament, we have plenty of codes available. If you want, you can go one step further and you can contribute to the prize pool if you wish. All the money in Matcherino will go to the players, to the top 4 players, as top 4 do get paid out here, which will be Ryu, the ZergLord, Zions, as well as someone else. God, he's from Bolivia. Ryojin, that's it, Ryojin. So all 4 of those players are going to be making some bank today, alongside Mako, or Mako, who earned the random raffle as well. Meanwhile, ooh, we have a couple of Dropper Lords being set up. Interesting. Do we have pneumatized carapace? We do not. There we go. It only just now starts. And is this going to be scattered? Yo, this is scattered. Ah, the ZergLord sees all. Meanwhile, Ryu also gets across the map here, but unfortunately he does not have Overlord speed, so it takes him a little bit longer to get around and get eyes on everything. Like, these Dropper Lords aren't really going to find much damage, or they shouldn't find much damage. As we have spores. Spores are being thrown down all over the place to stop the Dropper Lords. They'll help. They'll definitely help. Oh my god. As they're going to be coming out here for Ryu. At the same time, we have a bit of a Ling run by here at the 4th base. We do have plenty of Roaches to respond though. Roach speed isn't done, but they were close enough. They are able to keep this 4th base alive. Meanwhile, Dropper Lords move out, but they get spotted by the Overlords of the ZergLord. It's so difficult to pull off things like Dropper Lords because of this reason. Overlords are all over the place. There's no way that the ZergLord gets caught off guard. Unless... Here we go, Ryu's going to try and hit the 4th base at the same time as the Dropper Lords hit the main, but look at him go. The ZergLord, he splits up. He's there, he's ready. Ryu's going to have a hard time finding any damage whatsoever. Even here, the ZergLord with the defender's advantage should have enough to defend. At the same time, the Dropper Lords try to dip in, but they get defended, they get pushed away. Meanwhile, a bit of a flank. Surprisingly, Ryu is breaking through. He forces the ZergLord back, and he's even looking to try and deny the 4th. Can he get it? One more. Oh, opts not to. Instead, he turns around. These Roaches, they're so bruised from earlier. Like, the ZergLord is really struggling to fight this. And the 4th gets cancelled. My god, the fact that the ZergLord had so many Roaches in his main base to defend really did impact what he had to defend his 4th base. And now that Ryu is forced all the way back home, now he has the defender's advantage. We do have a couple of Ravagers on the way here for the ZergLord. So again, he's looking to try and counter. He wants to try and equalize things in some way. I mean, to be fair, this 4th base is pretty low from earlier. Maybe he could try to go for it, but Ryu, he's just going back in with the Overlords. Just doesn't even care. Uh-oh. Maybe he should. Roaches, he's starting to pull apart Ryu. The ZergLord, he's coming in. Oh god, and Ryu just doesn't have enough to defend both places at once. He's trying, but the fourth base is gonna go down. Ay, ay, ay. That's a kill, not a cancel on the fourth. At the same time, DropperLord's here across the map looking to try and deny the fourth base of the ZergLord. You don't want to be a fourth in this matchup. It's not happening. You're not getting it. Oh god, the Biles. They do connect with one of the Ravagers, but it looks like there are going to be enough Roaches here to defend for Ryu. At the same time, Ryu, he's going to get a kill on that base. He needs like 2 more volleys. Ryu, please. Meanwhile, the DropperLords, they get into the main. Oh, but Ryu, he looks like he will be able to defend his bases just barely. Somehow, some way, this hatchery survives. Ryu, all he had to do was commit his Roaches into attack and he would have gotten a kill. But he didn't. He opted not to anyway. Instead, he wants drones. And you know what? He's getting drones. He's getting a lot of drones. He's getting too much. There's too much damage being done. Oh my god. 6? 7 drones go down? Oh god. 9? Oh my god. 9 drones get picked off, and now Ryu, he's gonna look to rotate around and hit that fourth base, mate. He wants it. Spire gets scouted. Uh-oh. Hydrogen's already done though. Hydra speed on the way. This is what's dangerous about this fourth base. As soon as the fourth base gets up and running, gases are taken. This is going to impact the Muta production so much here for the ZergLord. I do wonder if it was a bit of a mistake for Ryu not to get a kill on that fourth base. Sure, he got 9 drones. Were 9 drones worth the fourth? That's the question we have to be asking ourselves. Do you have a bit of a Roach counterattack? It will be defended. At least the ZergLord scouts the Hydroden, so the ZergLord is well aware. So he knows not to overcommit with these mutas and to get too ambitious with them. I'm just going to focus on getting map control for now, as the main army is going to hit the fourth base. And Ryu, he's struggling with his supply. Once again, he's just invested so much into his gas. He has such a large gas bank, but not so much when it comes to the minerals. Oh, god. Takes a couple of bios to the face. The mutas, they're going to find a couple of free queens. Where are the Hydras? Oh god, there are just so many mutas, and it looks like the mutas, once again, 2 games in a row, are going to be able to do it here for the ZergLord. It's so difficult to make Hydras work against them. Again, the Hydras are just not in high enough numbers. Oh my god, the Biles do not connect with the mutas. The Hydras are trying to do what they can, but the Roaches move in again. Ryu struggling when it comes to supply. Forcing the lack of the fourth base hurt him so much after losing it. And the ZergLord, once again, he's running away with it. The Muta's more than paying for themselves here, and Ryu really struggling to hold on here at his fourth. Lurkers are on the way, but you could definitely argue that these Lurkers are too late. Roach Ravager, that is what was needed here. Oh my god, and the Biles land, and they connect with the Lurkers. The Lurkers will not finish. And just like that, the ZergLord, he's going to take a massive lead in this series. GG gets called. The ZergLord, he's up 2-0. Things were so neck and neck for such a long time there. Like the way that Ryu was able to counterattack and deny the fourth base and defend at the same time. But he spread himself too thin, and I mentioned this in game 1. I was talking about how going into Hydras, when you transition into them, that is when you're at your weakest as a Zerg player. And that applied here, despite the fact that there were mutas on the map. Like, going into Hydras, it's so difficult to pull off. Like, once you stop making Roaches, that's when your opponent takes advantage of you, and that's what we saw. Mutas, man. I hate them. I hate the mutas. And I feel like Ryu, I've seen him do this before. He's got to play with the Spire as well. You fight fire with fire, you know? Like, clearly, the Hydra responses are not working out for you. But the problem is that now that we're in game 3, the ZergLord has room to be aggressive, to change things up. He doesn't have to play the same way. His opponent, mate, he's up against the wall. He's here in the bottom left-hand corner of Glittering Ashes. LE currently down 0-2 in this series. Can he bring it back in this ZvZ? We have the Peruvian Zerg player representing the CranKy Ducklings. It is Ryu. And spawning in the top right hand corner of Glittering Ashes LE. Oh, this is what I was talking about. We have a 12-11. No, 13-12. I was a little bit too excited. My god, it's happening. Representing Amantes de StarCraft. It's the Brazilian Zerg. It is the ZergLord. I was talking about Glittering Ashes. You least expect the aggression on a map like this because it is so large. Here we go. Hatch gas pool from Ryu. He needs to control his workers so well if he wants to defend, because the ZergLord is being ultra aggressive, and it doesn't matter if he loses this game. He can afford to. He's up in this series. He can go wild, and this is the ZergLord we know and love. Here we go. Now it's going to be about when Ryu can scout this so he has enough time to respond. Overlords are coming out across the map. Lings are on the way. These Overlords need to scout these Lings. If they do not, then Ryu will not be prepared at all. And I'm really curious to see if the ZergLord just sends his Lings across the map, or if he rallies them around the edge. And, oh, he's rallying them! He wants to avoid the Overlord, and he will! Ay, ay, ay. This is going to be the worst scenario here for Ryu. The Lings, they do go around. They avoid both Overlords. They will not be scouted until they are across the map. Meanwhile, Ryu will not realize what's happening until he hits the natural. And by then, it's going to be too late. So far, best case scenario here for the ZergLord. He's doubling down, by the way. He has thrown down a Baneling Nest. No drones, no natural base. All in. And now he is here across the map. Ryu, now he knows. Now he realizes what has happened. Immediately, one drone will get picked off. The rest of the Lings are looking to try and dive on top of that egg as soon as it finishes. Meanwhile, Ryu, he throws down a spine. What Ryu has to realize, and what he realizes here across the map, he can afford to lose a hatchery. He does not have to save it. He doesn't have to overcommit. Losing the hatchery is not the worst thing in the world, because he does have the economic advantage and his opponent doesn't have a hatchery of his own. Meanwhile, Lings pop out. They do survive. Oh, Queen pops out as well. Queen, you got to get to the ramp. The Queen just barely manages to escape. If it got surrounded, that would have been it. That would have been game. Second Queen's on the way. The wall's on the wall. Oh, no. We have the surround. The Banelings are trying to get in as well. Decent target fire. Banelings do get picked up. Lings survive for now, but the high energy Queen is going to go down. Oh, no, it won't. Oh, my God. The control. That was insane. The way that Ryu was able to target fire and the way that he was able to keep this Queen alive. But Queen, get safe. Back away, Queen. Back away. Ooh, the Queen will get taken out. A little bit of miss micro there from Ryu. Two Lings go down for that one Baneling Nest, and Ryu has defended. GG gets called. Ryu puts a point on the board. Mate, that was insane. Oh my god, I can't believe that Queen survived for that long. Mike, that was crazy. Oh god. Let's go. And just like that, Ryu, he is fighting back. He is not going down without a fight. You cannot cheese him like that. Not Ryu, anyway. And now the ZergLord, to be fair again, he had some room to mess around a little bit with his builds, to be a little bit more aggressive, to try and clean things up quick and fast. Unfortunately, that didn't happen on Glittering Ashes. He still has a little bit of room to be aggressive, but after that loss, I'm sure he is a little bit taken aback and will approach this in a different way. I'm sure we're going to see more standard play, I guess is what I'm saying. Oh, or are we? Here we go, as game number 4 is going to be on Berlingrad, the smallest map in the map pool. The ZergLord still has a little bit of room, a little bit of leeway. If he wants to, a 12 pool on a map like this won't be too bad. Won't be too bad at all. Say, I wouldn't be opposed to it. I wouldn't be opposed. As we are diving into game number 4 of this best of 5 grand finals here. My god, which way is this going to go? As I quickly just close a couple of things. There we go. I did notice a couple of frame drops, but hopefully everything is okay. As spawning in the bottom right hand corner of Berlingrad, he's doing it! Berlingrad LE, we have our Peruvian Protoss player hailing from the land of Italy. The CranKy Duckling himself. Oh, my apologies. There we go. Currently down 1-2 in this best of 5. Currently getting 12 pulled. It is Ryu. And spawning in the top left, but also sending a drone across the map. Let's go! We have the Brazilian Zerg player opening up with a 12 pool on the smallest map in the map pool, sending a drone across the map for that proxy hatch. We have the ZergLord. Representing Amantes de StarCraft. And I say proxy hatch, we'll see, because of course I say, he can obviously just go for a spine instead, and spine is most likely what it is going to be here. As he does have enough, he's going to have enough for a hatch. He can throw down a hatch, cancel, and then throw down a spine on top of that creep. Here we go. Show it to us. Boom. Commits to the hatch. Okay, I have not seen this too often. No, there we go, yeah. I was like, is he really going to just make a hatchery in his face? No, he goes for the cancel. He goes for the spine. It is on the way here. Meanwhile, the Lings actually avoided the Overlords again, so Ryu has no idea, and this is going to hit harder because it's just a straight up 12 pool. There's no gas, there's no Ling speed, there's no Bailey nest, but there is a hatchery. So again, this isn't designed to kill, this is designed to cripple. Lings do reveal themselves. Oh my god, Ryu, what's his response going to be? Spine? Spine? No spine at all. He has to pull the boys. Here we go. Boys are being pulled off the line. Lings are on the way. Spine finishes. Oh, and the spine is really the crux of this build. Ay. Drones are getting picked off. Not the best control here for Ryu. And once that spine burrows, Ryu is going to have a hard time breaking this and getting control of his natural. Here we go. Do you have a bit of a drone drill? Boys are being pulled. All the Lings are getting picked off. Workers are going down. And I think this is it. I think too much damage has been dealt. The ZergLord has done it. The queen comes out. Is it going to be enough though? Ay. Ryu down to 11 workers. GG gets called. The ZergLord takes the series with his 12 pool and with his cheeky spine. GG. Ryu, it was so devastating when he pulled the boys and he lost like 2 drones immediately. Like, you can't afford to do that. He lost far too much, far too quickly. Didn't have his own spine on the way. Unfortunately, he also didn't scout this. And this hits the hardest on Berlingrad. It's just how it happens. It's just that small. But GG, well played. Congratulations, the ZergLord. We can't win them all. Ryu has been, taking a lot of W's here, winning a lot of these Sentimiento Latinos recently. You gotta spread the love, and really well played by the ZergLord. Not just that, but also shout out to his team as well. I see them in the chat representing Amantes de StarCraft. They've been very supportive of him. I'm still very unclear about how the team works, because I remember Amantes used to be like a conglomeration of teams like Death Zone Gaming and The Bad and stuff, but I guess part of them came together to form a new team. Regardless, the ZergLord, it's great that he's getting the support he needs, because he is an amazing player, as he has shown. Well-deserved win here in the end for Sentimiento Latino number 120. Meanwhile, Ryu, gotta go back to the drawing board a little bit, suffering hard against the Spire play. To be fair, game 1, mate, that Spire was hidden so well. That was just Ryu being unlucky when it comes to scouting. It was a little bit unlucky there. But game 2 was very solid play there by the ZergLord. So, yeah, GG, well played. Congratulations. And massive shout out to all the support we've gotten, to the bits we got in the chat. And if you want to support even more, check out the Matcherino page. !Matcherino in the chat. You can check out that page. I think we have a couple of codes left. Let me just check myself as I put the code in. Here we go. 8. We have 8 codes remaining. So if you want to support this tournament, I don't see a reason why not to. Check it out. Go to Matcherino, claim the code, and do what you can. Also, massive shout out to Lord Loken. Lord Loken actually donated 25 USD to the prize pool this week, supporting the tournament, supporting the scene, supporting the players. Thank you so much. Our top 4, they are all very appreciative of you, Lord Loken. He's always there to just give some love and spread that love and support StarCraft, whether it's Latin American, North American, Oceanic, he's always there. Thank you so much, Lord Loken. Thank you so much. And thank you so much, everyone in the chat, for tuning in as well. It was a fun tournament. Before I forget, of course, Cristiano, he joined me earlier as well. Didn't cast the finals, but cast the majority of the tournament, and I really appreciate him jumping on and helping me out. Otherwise I would have had to solo cast at least the start of the tournament. So massive shout out to Cristiano. And if you want to tune in to some more StarCraft, we're going to be live in less than 24 hours. OSC King of the Hill, I believe, has already started. Let me just quickly check here. Apparently it hasn't. It should have. What? Oh, it starts in 8 hours. Oh my god. 9 hours. In 9 hours, OSC King of the Hill starts, and they're going to be going for a 24-hour marathon cast. If you're unfamiliar, King of the Hill is a format where it's just best of ones, the winner stays on, and the admins organize a list of players, and they jump in one after the other, looking to take down the King of the Hill and become the King of the Hill. And the way it works is that for every win, for every map win you get, you earn, I believe it's like 7 to 10 USD. So yeah, you can rake up a bunch of money there in King of the Hill. So OSC are going to be running that for 24 hours, and we are going to be part of it. We are slotted in for, I believe, 5 hours tomorrow morning. So tomorrow morning for 5 hours, we will be covering that OSC. It's already going to be running for a decent amount of time by the time we jump in. I believe Chicken Man, Tempo, and Biomorph are going to be a part of that. So they're going to be, again, running their own portions of the King of the Hill, and we'll jump in for 5 hours, and then that goes straight into ESL Open Cup Asia. So yeah, if you want to tune into more StarCraft, we're going to be live tomorrow. I'll be joined by Cristiano and Kuro. If you want to tune into Kuro casting, I will start with her for a couple of hours, and then she will tag out with Cristiano, and then I'll complete the cast with him. So yeah, again, thank you everyone for watching. If you want to tune in tomorrow, it's there. If you want to support the CranKy Ducklings, check us out on all the social medias: Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Discord. If you want to tune in, if you want to get into voice channels with us, like, we are all there in Discord as well, practicing, interacting, nonsense. Just a lot of nonsense going on there. But if you want to be a part of that, then you can join us there if you wish. And yeah, thank you everyone for tuning in. At la final, at los finales, mates. I forget the Portuguese mean, but fala galera, everyone, fala galera. Oh god. So yes, thank you everyone for tuning in. We will see you mañana, tomorrow, for King of the Hill. And we have a lot of StarCraft lined up for us, so yeah, consider following us on the CranKy Ducklings. Consider subscribing if you want. It's thanks to all of our subscribers and all the money we make on Twitch and Patreon that we're able to have our pro team and fund our pro team and support them in their endeavors in StarCraft or Age of Empires, whatever they decide to do. Funada Starduck for playing so much Age of Empires. Shaking my head. Yeah. Thank you everyone for watching. We'll see you tomorrow. Ciao.